It's less time than it takes to blink. But if Earth's gravity took a 5-second break, you wouldn't just float peacefully. You would literally become a human missile, launched into the unknown! To understand this madness, we first need to look at how fast our planet is actually moving right now. Earth isn't standing still. It spins on its axis at over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. And on top of that, we are hurtling around the sun at a mind-boggling 107,000 kilometers per hour. Gravity is the invisible seatbelt holding us safely attached to this giant, speeding cosmic bullet. Without gravity, Newton's first law of motion takes over instantly. Inertia rules the world. Cars, asphalt chunks, buildings, and people are thrown sideways at 1,600 kilometers per hour. The exact second gravity drops, every single unsecured object on the eastern side flies off like a bullet. Buildings not anchored directly into the deep bedrock slide right off their foundations into the air. The sky turns into a chaotic storm of flying debris as everything moves at the exact speed Earth was rotating. But what happens to the air we breathe? That is where the real invisible disaster begins. The atmosphere has weight only because of gravity. The moment gravity vanishes, air pressure drops to absolute zero.
The oxygen surrounding our planet expands instantly, rushing outward and escaping into the cold vacuum of space.
For every living creature on Earth, such conditions would cause overwhelming pressure changes, intense ear pain, and immediate difficulty breathing.
Before we see what happens to the oceans next, let's test your wits with a quick scientific challenge right now. Look at the screen and choose the correct answer. Does the air stay still, or does it blast into space?
Coastlines vanish instantly as seabeds become completely dry land, leaving massive ships stranded on the dirt.
Massive dams crack and shatter under the sudden weightless shift, unable to handle internal structural strain. Even the Earth's crust begins to decompress. Loose soil and shallow rocks push outward into the atmosphere. Mountain peaks and the tops of skyscrapers start to crumble. They shed material into the zero-gravity void above. Every human body instantly feels completely weightless, our inner fluids floating and shifting toward our heads. In orbit, satellites lose their centripetal balance and shoot off into deep space along straight tangent lines. GPS systems, global communications, and television networks instantly go dark as the satellite grid disintegrates. What if the 5 seconds didn't stop? What if gravity never came back at all? Without gravity's binding force, centrifugal energy would eventually tear the entire planet apart, piece by piece. But thankfully, the 5 seconds are almost up. The countdown reaches its final, terrifying second. And then, gravity snaps back on. Everything that floated up comes crashing down at once. The floating domes of ocean water slam back down onto the surface, triggering mega tsunamis worldwide. Vehicles and flying debris drop like stones from the sky, smashing into the ground with catastrophic impact force. The escaping atmosphere rushes back, to compress against the surface, creating a violent global windstorm. In just 5 short seconds, human civilization looks like it has survived an apocalyptic war zone. And our little neon friend? Bruised, battered, and holding his cracked coffee mug, completely rethinking his life choices.
So, 5 seconds without gravity doesn't sound like a fun floating space party anymore, does it?
Gravity is the silent hero, keeping our oceans calm, our air breathable, and our feet safely glued to the ground.
Now that you've survived the 5-second catastrophe, let's see if you caught the most dangerous physics fact. Tap your answer on screen now. What force launches everything sideways at 1,600 kilometers per hour?
With the air failing, the oceans are next. And what they do next defies all laws of nature. Without gravity to hold them down, massive volumes of ocean water detach from the seabed and float upward into giant domes.
If you had a button to turn off gravity for just one object in your room, what would you launch into the sky? Drop it in the comments. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our next mind-blowing cosmic scenario.